Hello everyone, welcome back to my video lecture series on embedded controller laboratories. Today we'll have a session on a first experiment on LPC 1768, that is a display a hello world using a hello world message using an internal UART. So after going through this session, the students will be able to develop an embedded C program to interface UART0 to ARM Cortex M3 and to display a message from Cortex M3. So first we should know the registers which are used to set up a UART. So basically this UART is having few registers that are to be configured to make it use of UART for receiving and transmitting of the messages. So here the first register is FCR message, FCR register. So that is, this FCR is nothing but FIFO control register. So this register is of 32-bit size, out of which we don't use 8 to 31 bits. So only 8 bits are used here, 0 to 7. And these 0 to 7 bits are configured, are functioned as the first 0 bit is used for FIFO enable, and the first bit is used as RX FIFO reset, that is the FIFO register to reset receive FIFO. The bit 2 is used to reset the transmit FIFO, first in first out reset. Bit 3 is used for DMA mode, direct memory access mode. Bit 4 and 5 are used, are actually reserved, we don't use them, and bit 6 and 7 are used for receive trigger, as a receive trigger. So there are 4 level of triggering is there. Mode 0 triggering, mode 1 level triggering, mode 2 level, and mode 3 level triggering, but we don't use them also here. The main important bits what we are going to use in this registers is the bit 0, bit 1 and bit 2. All other bits we are going to make it as 0. So here first of all we have to make it transmit FIFO reset, receive FIFO reset, and FIFO enable. We have to enable the FIFO. We have to first reset the receive pipeline and transmit pipeline. FIFO is first in first out pipeline. First we have to reset all these things. So basically we put the value 07, 0x07. Then another important register is LCR register. So where LCR register is a line control register. A line control register is again is having many different functions, whereas the first 2 bits, 0 bit, bit 0 and bit 1, these are used for word length select, that is how many number of word that is going to be transferred at a single time. Word length select, 2 bits are there. Bit 2 is used to generate a stop bit selection. So as a stop bit select, that is if this is set then we are adding up a stop bit, if this is not set then we are not adding up any stop bit. Then bit 3 is used for parity enable. Bit 4 and 5 are used for parity select. bit 6 is used for break control. Even these things we don't actually use. And bit 7 is used for latch divisor latch enable. So here the value that we are going to use is 0x83. That is we are enabling DLAB bit 7. We are enabling bit 0 and 1. That is, if bit 0 and 1 are 0 0, then the word length will be a single bit character. Then if the bit 0 and 1 are 0 1, then 2 bits per character. Then if it is 0 1 is 1 0, then 4 bits, and if it is 1 1 1, then the word length of a data is going to be 8 bits. So we are going to use 8 bit length here, and we are enabling the D latch here. Then another important register is LSR, line status register. So basically this register is used as a interrupt enabling register. So that in the previous 8051 we had a IE register to enable and disable, and to monitor the status of interrupts we had some of the bits. So whenever any interrupt occurs, that bit is going to be equal to 1 automatically. So here also in this LSR the total 8 bits are going to be divided into some different functions, out of which the main 2-bit functions are, one is the bit 0 RDR, receive data ready, and another one is THRE, transmitter holding register empty. RDR bit 0 and THRE bit 5. So basically these are used. So suppose if bit 0 of this LSR is 0, then there is no, if in the form of receiving, whenever LSR bit 0 is 0, the UART is receiving the data. So when the UART stops receiving the data, then RDR will be equal to 1. It means it has to receive the next data. It is ready to take a next data. Likewise, while transmitting, the bit 5 is going to be used. That is, whenever any data is going to be transmitted, THRE is always 0. So when the bit has been transmitted, the completion of the transmission is been done, then THRE will become high. So telling that next transmission data will be has to be sent. So this in this program we are always going to monitor this bit number 5, because we are transmitting a message here. We are writing a program to transmit a message. Then there are another 2 registers are there, DLL and DLM, the most significant baud rate setting and the least significant baud rate setting. So which is basically same as in the 8051 what we have seen, depending upon the class, depending upon the crystal frequency. Then at the end we have a port pin configuration. So here we are going to use 2 pins, that is a port pin P0.02 and P0.03. The P0.02 is a pin number 98, P0.03 is a pin number 99 in the LPC 1768. So these 2 pins are having 3 functions. The basic function is GPIO, the first alternative function is TXT0 and RxD0, and second alternative function is ADC0, ADC0 7th bit, ADC0 6th bit. Out of this, here we have to use TXD0 and RXD0. So first we have to make P0.02 and P0.3 as a first alternative function. So for that purpose, we know that the pin select register is there to select other function. So if it is 00, GPIO, 01, the first alternative, 02, second alternative. That we will see in the program. So these are some algorithms or some steps for configuring UART0. Step 1, configure the GPIO pin. As in the previous table we have seen, we are going to configure GPIO port 0.2 and port 0.3. So for UART0 functioning using pin select register. Then configure the FCR for enabling the FIXO, it is FIFO, and reset both the receiver and transmitter FIFO, enabling as well as resetting. Step 3 is configuring LCR that we have seen for one stop bit, 8 data bits, that is word length is 8 data bits, it is going to be 1 stop bit, and we are going to disable any parity and enable DLAB. DLAB is divisor latch enable, so that we are going to enable here. Then step 4 is calculate the DLM and DLL according to the clock cycle. Basically we are going to set a baud rate of 9600. So the value for 9600 baud rate is 0x001A. DLM is going to be 00, DLL is going to be 1A, which are both are going to use only 8-bit data. Then step 5 is finally, after setting all these things, clear the DLAB, that is clearing the divisor latch enable to disable all the access to DLM and DLL. So that we have to do, and later on then we have to write the main program for transmitting purpose or receiving purpose of the message through the UART. In this we are going to use a transmitter. So here the program begins. We have to first include the header file lpc17xx.h file, then void delay, some delay program or unsigned integer r1 to generate a delay, then void UART0 underscore init, in the bracket the return is void. So that is, this UART underscore init function is going to set up all the configuration according to the previous register setup that we have seen. So one unsigned integer has been, one variable has been taken up here, integer variable. Then another variable, a character type with a pointer. So char star pointer and one array, and that array is going to be loaded with the message. Like here it is added up as hello world. Then we are going to take one register here. We are going to store some of the constant value 0x20. See, this is quite important. 0x20 is being constantly stored in the register thrmt. So here 0x20 is nothing but the bit 5. 20 is nothing but 00100000, where bit 5 is 1 here. So now we'll begin the UART underscore init, that is a configuration. As according to the steps, first we have to Here PCON P is a register which is used to power up the peripherals. So this here PCON P is a set of LPC underscore SC package. So LPC underscore SC arrow mark hyphen arrow mark PCON P or equal to 0x00000008. So this 8 value is going to enable a power up to the UART peripheral, UART0 peripheral. So these functions, all things we have already discussed in the basics of programming in the first video. Then LPC underscore pincon, so that is pin configuration. So this is one package which is having all the pin select registers. So pin select 0, basically as we are going to use a P0.2 and P0.3 which are in the beginning pins, so we have to use pin select 0. This is also been explained in the first embedded controller laboratory first video. So here to select P0.2 and P0.3, the value has to be put in pin select 0 is 0x00000050. So this 50 is nothing but enabling 50 is nothing but 01010000, whereas 0101 is a first alternative function of P0.2 and P0.3, which are related to P0.2 and 3. So for first alternative function. Then LPC underscore UART0. So UART here, previously in the previous slide we have seen about the registers, UART registers. So here first we have to frame UART frame formatting through LCR. So number of data bits that we have selected in the previous, we have selected here, that is 83 value, where one stop bit and 8-bit word length and no parity is disabled, and divisor latch DLAB is enabled, 83. Then LPC UART, that is the first step. Then we have to set up a baud rate. DLM is equal to 00 and DLL is equals to 1A. So this becomes a 9600 BPS for 4 megahertz. After this, the last step, that we have to disable the divisor latch. So LCR, again LCR is equal to 00000003, where instead of 8 it is 83, it is now 03 only. That is one DLAB bit is going to be cleared here. It means we are disabling the divisor latch. Then LPC UART FCR equal to 0x07. So that is we should enable the this, actually it has to be in the beginning, but no problem, it is in the end here. We are enabling FIFO pipeline. In that we are clearing the resetting the RX FIFO and TX FIFO. Then we will start up with the main program here. While entering into a main program, first we are calling the configuration of UART0, that UART0 underscore init function we are calling up here, which is going to set up all the necessity configuration for UART functions. Then while one continuous transmission we are going to do here, PTR is one character variable, array is also a character variable. Now already array is having some data, hello world. So that array is going to be loaded into the pointer PTR. So now while star PTR, that is the address of that data, the beginning address of that data, if it is not equal to 0, that is if the data is not at the end, then we enter into a while here, one more while loop here. After entering into a second while loop, there is one more while we have used here, that LPC underscore UART 0 is having one register, LSR register. So this LSR register, this also we have seen in the previous, which is used as a that is a line state register, which is used as an interrupt, register. So where bit 5 of this is always monitoring whether the data is receiving or not. So this LSR and THR underscore empty. See, THR underscore empty is already having a data 20H, where bit 5 is equal to 1. LSR is where we are monitoring the data is transferring or the data is empty to transmit next data, so that both will get ANDed here, LSR and THR empty. That is a single bit, it's a bit operation. This also we have seen in the basic video. So LSR, if the data is empty, which is enabling in the LSR, the bit 5 is going to be equal to 1, and that as well as the THR empty value are equal, then the THR is not empty. If they are not equal to the THR empty, then the next data has to be sent. So therefore LPC underscore UART THR is transmitter holding register. So this will hold a data which has to be transmitted. So here, that is what will happen is the pointer will get plus plus, that is one data will be sent into a THR register, and pointer is going to be incremented. Again while is going to be checked up here until the pointer becomes 0, it will remain here only. After sending a hello world message into the THR one by one, then pointer will become a 0, then this will become exit. So out of this, for I is equal to 0, this many, after some time delay, again it is going to check for pointer whether PTR in the second while loop, PTR is going to be 0 or not. So now the condition is failed, as all the characters has been transmitted. After this, it will come out from the second also. Again, while 1 is a continuous loop, forever loop, PTR is equal to array. Again PTR is going to be loaded with array address. Then again second loop and third loop. So this goes on continuously. The UART is transmitting a single message, hello world. So this is how we are going to do our first experiment here. That is, open the Keil Microvision, then go to the project tab menu, which is providing us many number of hardware devices. To work with all this, we have to create a project first. So go to project, new Microvision project. So just go back and create one new folder, because all files will get into a same folder. That is why create a new folder for different programs. Just give it a name, which program you are going to do, and here give the name of the project. Like I'm doing a UART, just give the name as it is, UART 0. You save it. Now here we have to, there are many number of manufacturers are there of this ARM processors. Many companies are there: Atmel company, ARM company, Analog Devices, NXP, uh, Toshiba, Texas Instruments, STM Electronics. So many are there. We are, as we know that we are going to work on NXP manufactured ARM processors. Just select NXP, the ARM Cortex M3 architecture, that is a LPC 1768. It's hard to find here. Directly we can search LPC 1768. Okay. Select the device LPC 1768 under NXP. So these are all the features. So while doing a laboratory, even we have all seen this. Say OK. Then it will ask for the startup file, where we don't require a startup file for this C programs. We are going to add a library file. So say no. Say no. Then here in the project window, the source group one folder is there under the target one. To create a file under this source group one, just right click on it, then go to new item, add new item to the source group. So we are going to write a C program here. Select a C file and give a name for that C file. As I have given a project name as a UART0, the same I will give up here, UART0, and directly add it. So a file is being created here, UART0.c. Open it. Here the program which we have already explained, the program which we have written, just it is the same thing. After writing the program, right click on the source group, then add existing files to the group, source group 1, because along with this single UART.c C file, we require a library file also. So add that library file. So just select a library in the file types, .lib file. So here it will come. You just double click or add it here. So it is also been added up here. So now go to a target, right click on the target one, then select options for target 1. Here we can see that the device what we have selected is LPC 1768, and then this is a table for ROM. Then go to output window. There we have to select tick mark create hex file. Then go to a linker tab. Here we have to select use a memory layout from the target dialog, and then go to utilities. Here okay, go to debug. Here we have to select use simulator, it has to be selected. Then say OK. So after this, we have set up all the things. Now we have to build the program. Right click on the C program, the C file, and say build target, or F7 also we can press. Build target. So in the build output window, we are getting the output result that creating a hex file and zero errors. Zero errors and zero warnings are there. And one more important is creating a hex file. The compiler has been done creating a hex file with zero errors and zero warnings. Now this is all the setup we have done, and we have generated a hex file. We have to burn this hex file into our LPC1768 hardware. So the connection, you know all the connections with the hardware. Now we have to set up here as UA in the here the COM port has to be configured first. So for that purpose, open the terminal, type cd sign mark slash dot wine dot slash DOS devices. So first here we have to check whether the COM1 port is been created or not. So type ls and press enter. So COM1 is already present here. COM1 is present, but if COM1 is not present, then how to implement the COM1 port? So for that purpose, we'll do that one also. First we will remove this COM1. So to remove this COM1, sudo remove COM1. So COM1 is now removed. That is to check, type ls and press enter. So there is no COM1 here. Now if the COM1 is not there, then how to implement it? Let us implement the COM port 1 with the USB. ln hyphen l slash tty USB 0. It is present in the device slash tty USB 0. Okay, it is not a hyphen L, it is hyphen S. ln hyphen S slash device slash TTY USB 0 space com1. So now it is been implemented. Then type ls and check. Now see here it is implemented com1. Now exit from this wine directory. Now we have to configure the Minicom software. Type Minicom space hyphen SW. See here, go to serial port setup. Then it should be the serial device should be device slash TTY USB 0. The log file location should be var slash log. Then bits per second, that is baud rate, should be 9600. As in the program also we have selected it as 9600. So if it is been changed, then we can change the Minicom settings also here. Minicom is basically used for transmitting the hex file from computer to the device through USB. That is USB that we are communicating here. And hardware flow control and software flow control should be said no. Then change all these settings according to this. Press enter. Now save setup as DFL and then exit from Minicom. So after this, device has been set up with the COM1. USB has been set up with the COM1 now. USB to COM1 is been connected. Now sudo chmod, that is we are going to give a permission for that USB to access the COM port. Chmod 666 slash device slash TTY USB 0. Press enter. So the permission is being given up here. Now go to a Flash Magic software. Here the step 1, LPC 1768 device, COM port is 1, 9600 is the baud rate, interface none, oscillator is 12. Then step 2, erase blocks used by hex file only. Then step 3 is selecting a hex file location. Then step 4 is verify after programming. So this is step 2. Don't select erase all flash, only select erase blocks used by hex file, and then press the 5th step is press start after selecting a hex file. Okay, if getting error, then try to increase or decrease the baud rate first. Let us select a baud rate of 115200. Then try again. It will not work on 115200. You just increase and decrease the baud rate some 2-3 times, so that there may be some errors that will be Even we can press a reset button in the hardware and see that the hardware, on the hardware, the switch 3 or ISP should be on. Then change it to 9600 only. You just press the reset button on the hardware. Okay, now it is transferring the file. It is flashing the file on the LPC1768. Okay, now the file has been sent into the LPC1768 hardware. Then on the hardware, now switch off the switch 3 ISP switch, and then come back to this terminal. Here now the LPC1768 is sending the message. Now we have to listen to that message. So type minicom -L for listening purpose. Press enter. Okay, we have to switch off the SW3 on the hardware. So see, now we are getting the message as hello world.